Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be Scratch, Cold Brew, and Deadwood Jedi joining me for a fun, casual discussion about the launch of the Doom Tower. We'll get you a full reaction now that we have gone through the first day and the launch of the Doom Tower to put it all in context for you and just kind of have a casual conversation about it. One thing I do want to mention before I dive into the video, because it's really important for you to know, is don't make the same mistake I did. Don't do some of your keys on normal and then some of your keys on hard. You're going to want to use all 10 of your keys in a day on one difficulty so that you can progress that side until you get to a mini boss. So that's just something I want to make sure you know about. Don't make the same mistake I did and throw yourself off by a day. But if you do make that mistake, or if you were excited and you kind of split things up, just go ahead and flip-flop it the next day. So what I did on day one is I accidentally cleared 2 floors on normal, and then I switched to hard and I did 8 floors. So what I'm gonna do is just flip-flop that. So the next day I'll do 2 on hard and then 8 on normal, and then I'll be back to a nice 10 rotation climbing up the Doom Tower as I progress. Not a big deal, just something quick I wanted to mention to you guys. And now let's go ahead and dive into the discussion with Scratch, Deadwood, and Cold Brew. Alrighty, and now I'm joined here by the crew. I'll just go left to right. How you doing, Cold Brew?
I'm all good, man. I just finished a stream, finished the Doom Tower for the day, and I'm ready to talk with you guys about the whole thing.
Very nice. How you doing, Scratch?
Yeah, doing pretty good, buddy. Just chilling for a bit, you know.
Cool. And we've got Deadwood social distanced off to the side to make room for the hat that he's always wearing. So we had to leave a seat in between all of us. How you doing, Deadwood?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to keep my distance from you guys. You know, I don't want to catch whatever it is you guys might have over there.
That's
so
right.
I'm gonna stay over here, and we'll be happy about it.
That's right. Well, obviously a crazy day. Probably the biggest like launch day for something new to Raid since what, Faction Wars? You guys think?
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Because
Easy.
Been like,
been like kind of minor stuff like the forge and like artifact filtering. We haven't got like a crazy full-blown new mechanic like this since Faction Wars. So yeah, I'll go the opposite direction. We'll just kind of get your initial thoughts on launch day. Deadwood, go ahead. What's your how you feeling right now about the Doom Tower and your first day?
I mean, first day is cool. Like, you know, trying some new stuff. I got stuck like many people doing the normal route to begin. I don't know that it matters which way you go, quite frankly, because the amount of keys we have, the amount of time we have, we're all going to be doing, or at least have the option to do all of it. So I'm probably just going to continue going down the normal path until I finish that and move over to the hard. But it's kind of cool. It's neat. I really love the fact that I can continue to farm these stages over and over. I really like the fact that I get to see the times of all my clanmates. Gives me a lot of ammunition to make fun of them and to brag about how my time's lower than all theirs. It's cool to see the global times and see who's doing what, and question how Stu was able to beat the boss in 5 seconds. I don't understand how that's possible, but he did it. These are little things that I'm actually getting a pretty big kick out of. The secret room is pretty dope. Being having to keep it to one thing or another to make that work, I think is pretty neat. And the difficulty on the first 10 floors is not crazy, which is good. I know it's some levels of count that's obviously going to be a struggle, but I think for me it was unbelievably easy, and I think for a lot of people it's a very doable thing for most folks. Even if you don't have all the champions, getting through that boss should be not impossible. And the fact that we can reuse our keys over and over if you fail is great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to like about this, I mean, I think the only negatives I have is the fact that we're kind of bound by the mechanics Raid has put in place, and so it's too different from Faction Wars or Dungeons. But other than that, it's a huge success in my book. Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited when it launched, and I was kind of recording a video live, and I did the same mistake you made. I split my keys. I did a run or two on normal, and then I was like, oh, I wonder if I should be on hard. And then by then I switched, and I realized now I can't get to the boss on either side of the damn thing. So don't make my mistake. You want to use your silver, or I mean your gold keys in batches of 10, so that you can get to the boss. So if you pick a stage or a difficulty, stick with it for 10. But anyway, Scratch, go ahead. What are your thoughts on day one so far?
Yeah, I like it. Honestly, I'm well impressed with the way they managed to manage everything. Like no maintenances, nothing bad. Like the game runs as smooth as before. So pretty good thoughts about it. I like that we finally got some new content after what it's been around 12 months, 15 months since we got Faction Wars, because it's been a really long time.
12 or 13 months, I think. Yeah.
I like it that it's gonna be challenging. Like I left it on auto. I didn't bother with times and stuff today. Like I was tired. I woke up early for arena and stuff. So I left it on auto. And honestly, on stage 2, stage 3, I was just looking my arbiter with the 2 royal guards, Dracos, getting slaughtered. I was like, what? You know, like just on auto. So I think once we reach like level 30, 40, that's when the real struggle is gonna start kicking in on the hard mode. And pretty much, I think normal mode, you might be getting to 50, 60 without having to worry too much about it. But I think the real struggle will start from there for everybody, you know.
For sure. Cool. And then Cold Brew, how you feeling today? I know you just got done streaming.
Yeah, I just got done streaming. The first thing I did when I opened the stream today was just go in the Doom Tower, just see what everyone did all day. So I went in. I pretty much knew that I could do it because I saw everybody was trying to get faster times with 2 or 3 champions. And I was like, okay, the first 10 stages must be easy, must be reasonable. But when I reached stage 8 or 9, I was like, okay, this is not that easy. And then the boss, when he can actually one-shot things, when you just go in and try to nuke him down, then you realize, okay, when I reach the boss again in a later stage, I'll need to go there with a strategy, because it won't work the same way it did now with 2 cold hearts and the arbiter is not going to work the same thing. So yeah, I can't wait to see the next few days, especially during the weekend. So it will be around stage 60 or 70 in the weekend. So that's gonna be when it gets tough for sure.
Yeah, it's the first time that we're able to kind of see a history of like teams that were used either on your roster or in your clan, which is a great mechanic to raid. They should honestly add that for other dungeons and stuff as well. I mean, I guess in the clan boss you could see teams that your clan is using, but in a dungeon setting like this, it's fun because you could even implement something on Discord where you have like inter-clan or inter-clan competitions. Like, hey, the top 3 or whatever, you know, some sort of little small prize or acknowledgement on the Discord server. You can do a lot of fun stuff when you can actually have some more information at your disposal. So are you all going to go for hard straight out the bat, finish hard first, or try? Or, I mean, we're probably not going to be able to finish it, right?
Well, I mean, we'll finish it by the end of the month, but
like, do you think we're all going to be able to like finish hard, or will it be like insanely difficult and we're going to have to start like theory crafting and?
I'll tell you honest, hard probably 1% of the end game players, not of the whole player base. 1% of the end game players will be finishing it. If the difficulty ramps up the same way it ramped in the levels, and the speed is just gonna go higher on the champions. Like I run like 200 and something speed on my champions. I haven't managed to get a double turn on them the same way I would do it in campaign, you know. So their speed is higher. So if the speed just goes higher, their stats go higher and higher. I remember even now when Faction Wars came out, it took me 6 hours to beat Undead 21 before it got nerfed. And that was not 3-star because I didn't have any thrill. So I lost the champion at the end, but it took me 6 hours. And just because I needed literally every planet in the universe to align for me, to land every single stun on those Valkyries and keep on going for 6 hours, it gave me a headache. So I think the stages will start becoming like that the higher we get, and it's going to become super difficult.
Yeah, I don't know who to give credit this because I was linked it by a friend, but I can see some of these stats and stuff for the later stages. And yeah, I mean, they're like over level 300. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that this is the first time they're scaling stuff and increasing the speed. Like typically, like for Faction Wars and stuff, they increase the level, but they don't like inherently add base speed to the champions. But now, I mean, I'm seeing like speed plus 150. So you're gonna be going up against enemies that are, 250 speed, and we've never really had that. We're usually going up against things that are 100 to 125. So it's gonna be
Faction Wars had the speed implemented like that as well.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were always, and I know recently they balanced it. How major was it though? Because it seems like you can still get a bunch more turns.
Before, man, like on stage 14, that Arbiter and all the team was so fast, honestly. Like, they were like, what, 230 speed, if I remember it right, maybe more.
And then they nerfed
the
it?
very first day, yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to get like end game back then. So I guess by the time I got there, they'd already adjusted it. But yeah, you're going to be, and then I'm looking, they're going to have 300 accuracy.
It's the accuracy and the resistance that
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised, but like, pretty typically for everything I've done in this game so far, I'm like, if I can get enough accuracy to land something on the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, like that 230 to 250 range, it'll work for any of the other content.
Yep.
They're gonna have resistances close to 300. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to guys like I would for arena accuracy wise, just to land normal debuffs on these bosses. That's gonna be, to me, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, like speeds I can probably deal with, but the resistance and the accuracy is going to be pretty insane there. That's definitely going to be a challenge to go with. And actually, it's funny that you're mentioning this. Like, I hadn't really thought that deeply about the scaling of these of the opponents as we get on the hard levels. Chosen, you might be doing the right thing, splitting your keys, because I think the best method is to push hard until you get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's taking Scratch 6 hours to beat one level in Faction Wars, I imagine some of those bosses is going to take us, hours and maybe even days of, practicing. And in that meantime, you don't want to lose all those keys you got. That might be the time to actually send them back use your keys on the normal level while you're continuing to try to finish that hard level boss or that hard level stage. I don't know. The strategy on this is going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That's for sure. You do want to go ham on hard mode the first time. Now, if you look at the normal mode, you get rare materials from farming the bosses. That's gonna give you 3-star, 4-star gear from the forge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, we do farm for the champions we're getting here and the milestone rewards on the tower, but we do want to get the champions and the gear. Like the gear sets are pretty solid, most of them, very good for arena. So you do want to get the best materials. So let's just say you can do stage 20 on hard mode, and that's where you get stuck. It's fine. You'll do that the first couple of days, and then you move to your normal mode. You're going to beat the bosses. You're going to clear it once, and then all the silver keys you have, you're going to move back to hard mode, and you're going to farm the boss with the silver keys till you get more epic and legendary materials, for the forge.
Yep. And that's a good segue. We should touch on the sets. I haven't really talked about these with you guys. So Cole, I'll let you go first. I've got the forge pulled up here on video. Affinity Breaker, Untouchable, Fatal, Frostbite. What do you think of these sets? Or what's your favorite? What's your least favorite?
I think the Frostbite must be the one that everyone will be crafting maybe for that Frost Spider. Can't remember the name for her, but I think she's gonna be the toughest one to beat with all the freezes that she does.
And counterattacks and then
yeah. So the freeze set, just resisting the freeze is gonna be the most important one, I think. And then the least used, I would say that the Fatal is gonna be the least used. The 15% attack and 5% crit. I think that's the one that not many are gonna go for first.
Okay. Yeah, Deadwood, you looked like you disagreed with something.
I just don't. I don't think anyone's going to use the Affinity Breaker. Is the one that I don't see a lot of advantage on. I could be wrong about that. Like I can see I can see Scratch shaking his head. My only issue with that is like, if that's a crit damage set, and like typically you're trying to pile as much crit damage on. I could take 4 crit damage gear pieces and get more crit damage than I am from Affinity Breaker. And, and my thing is, it's a chance. You have a 20% chance for a weak hit to turn into a critical hit. So It doesn't change the baseline chance of a weak hit.
Oh, it does.
It does?
They said, yeah. They said it's from 35. It goes to 15.
Oh, so it changes the baseline
Yeah.
chance for a weak hit? Never mind then. Then yeah, that's probably pretty good. All right, I got
Oh.
Because
Yeah, they word
Yeah.
that really wrong because it sounds like you need to get a bunch of qualifiers to line up. Like first, it's only going to be viable if you are at a weak affinity. So like let's say you've got Trunda versus Battle Khazar. So at first you have to hit that qualifier. You have to be a weak affinity. Then you have to hit them weak, and then you have to roll that 20%. That's what it sounds like when they word it like that. But you're saying it's just the base chance is changed.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, Diamond said that it goes from 35 to 15.
Okay, they should really change the wording in game then, because it's worded terribly. It sounds like when you hit weak, it's a 20% chance that it's going to convert it from a weak to a crit.
That was my understanding of it.
That's what I understood. But anyway, it's 15% chance, man. Like that's gonna weak it non-stop. You know, like it's not a big difference. Like it's the 3% chance of getting resisted. Okay, on your Madame series or whatever. I swear, mine she has 1,000% chance of getting resisted because she just randomly gets resisted every single fight almost. You know.
Yeah, it is amazing when you've got like a finely tuned spider strat. And your debuffer is 97%, and every time they miss, your run fails. It happens all the time. It seems like it.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. The worst thing when you get those weak hits in, it's just it feels so bad, especially with Royal Guard. You try to see his A2 go on the big spider, and then it just does nothing. That's on the Spider 19. That is.
I think the untouchable set should be 50 or 60 resistance. Like we see perception is 40 accuracy, but that's only a 2-piece set, so you can get 80 on a 4-piece. So with that being a 4-piece, yes, you do get the immunity for 2 turns, so it's basically an immunity set with a resistance bonus. And they're both 4-piece sets. But I think that should be like 50 or 60 resistance instead of 40.
Yeah, I think so too. At least a 60. Yeah.
That might be another set that's just not used all that much. I mean, really, because like if you're putting immunity on your champions, you're doing that so you don't have to build resistance. You know what I mean? Like it. It seems to me like if I'm going to concentrate on one thing or another, that's a whole kind of a big part of it. So it seems a little weird to have those two things that are so similar working in tandem.
Well, it can be great to have because if you go up in the arena against people that strip buffs and you want to resist that, because a lot of teams will be set up to like strip your immunity. So if you can build somebody with 600 resistance in an immunity set, now all of a sudden you're kind of double dipping on like your chances to be super sturdy, especially if you've got like a debuff cleanser. But your point is right. Yeah, like most cases, if you're in an immunity set, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of value out of tons of res.
On my account, I'm not going to see much. I'm not going to be using this too much. But I don't push platinum, right?
Yeah.
But like I'm sure, like for Scratch, for Manimal, for those guys that are really pushing end game arena, this is probably a great set for them. Then that's funny. Like Cold Brew mentioned Fatal not being good. I'm like, for me, I'm like, where my account's at, I'm like, that's a great set. I'm always short on crit rate. Just like I always just need that 5%, and that little bit extra attack.
It happens to me too, yeah. But sometimes you got that exact 100%, and you say, okay, my crit rate is perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
By the way, I was wrong. I just found Diamond actually saying, clarifying that it's actually that 20% chance. So it's 20% chance probability after the 35%. So I was wrong when I said that before.
Oh, okay.
I thought he said the other way around.
That's okay.
Cool. I'm glad you found that out, though. I'm glad.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure, because you guys were all sure, and I was like, did I remember wrong?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. I was just kind of going by the in-game text by what it says. And so like what I was saying on stream is if that's going to be a 4-piece set, like you'd almost rather just have Savage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
I'd rather have 4 pieces of crit damage and get an extra 10% on top.
Yeah, so like that should be. What if it was? I mean, it's a 4-piece set, so it should have some build defining component. What if it was just can no longer weak hit?
That would be crazy. That would be
that's
crazy
what it
good.
should be.
Like I think. I mean, it's a Doom Tower set. Like I think that's what it should be.
It would open up so much more you know, setups and builds. It would help everywhere. Clan boss, dungeons,
It'd be
arena.
great. That's 100% what it should be. Even if you took away the crit damage, at least then it has its niche of a placement in the game. You know what I mean? Because like there's some champions like you know, the person that comes to mind is Juliana, actually. Someone that we never used anymore, but was like back in the day a meta champion for clan boss, right? But she has this on her A1, she gets a turn meter boost on it. Well, she's a Magic Affinity champion, so like you could calculate it. Like I have her in my calculator. You can calculate her for clan boss, except if she gets a weak hit. What if she's facing red affinity? All of a sudden now you can't have that consistency that you need from someone that's going to have turn meter boost. Well, I could put this on her, and all of a sudden it's consistent. Like that would be a unique way for that set to have a place in this game outside of just, you know, Doom Tower or Arena or whatever. You could actually use her in a lot of different. Wouldn't mind putting that on my Royal Guard. Like, you know, only needs so much damage to take down a boss, but if I can make sure that he doesn't have any weak hits, regardless of the affinity he's facing, all of a sudden that makes him a lot more viable as well. So I mean, that is definitely something I would prefer for what we have here.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah. So that's go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. One
you're good.
really cool thing. I was just talking to somebody. I was doing an interview with the guy that like did my my overlay for stream, and we did a little coaching session. And one of the things that he was pointing out is the gear, because like I think Scratch, you mentioned you get like only the rare gear from the normal levels, basically, right? So you can do the
materials. I mean, from the first boss, what I've seen, that's what the guys got dropped. You know.
Right. But he was actually saying it's actually not a bad way to make a little bit of silver.
Yeah, I had someone say this to me as well. I had someone bring this up. Yep.
Because the 3 and 4, the materials for crafting 3 and 4 star stuff can't be used for the 4 and 5, can't be used for, or it can be used for the 4 and 5, but it can't be used for the 5 and 6. So since we're gonna craft 5 and 6 anyway, like why bother with 4 or 5? It's great. You can just craft it and sell it and make, you know, cost you like 1,000 silver to make it, and you make 30K off each one you sell. It's a pretty easy way to make, you know, 1 million silver for a few 100,000 silver without, you know, from your daily keys. So even if you are only doing normal and you are just farming that, at least you're getting yourself some extra silver every day. So it's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, I had somebody bring that up to me as well, so I'm glad you brought that up. It does cost you the Magisteel that you get in the arena as well, but
so much.
Yeah, and worth mentioning, because I see myself here at 9,500 Magisteel. Worth mentioning, a lot of people forget that maxes out at 10,000. So once you get close to 10,000, I'm sure some of you out there, maybe I'm sure a lot of you are like, "What? I have 100." But for those of you out there that do have a lot, if you're endgame or something, it does max out at 10,000. So you want to start spending it when you get to like 9K or so.
Yeah, I'm at 9.4K.
Yeah, nice. And I'm at 95. What are you at, Scratch?
Me, I've forged everything that I got so far, but I'm at 6.7.
All right.
And Deadwood?
I have like 2,700, so
okay.
I got plenty of time. I'm not a big forger. I haven't been like you know, really too enumerated with the sets, and just holding on to stuff till I like really understand and know what I want to forge. Like these new sets, like you were saying, that Frostbite looks really good. I think the Fatal's probably something I'll use a lot of. So like those are ones I'm going to be waiting to forge a lot. And maybe some more of those the Perception sets are really nice too.
Oh, that's god tier. I'm going ham for that all the time. I have problems with epic materials, so I hope the bosses in the tower, they won't be dropping a 5% chance of dropping actually the epic materials like the faction wars, because that's awful, man. Like I have 5 epic materials for perception, and I have 3,700 legendary pieces.
So you get way more legendary.
I have twice as many
legendary, 5% epics.
I have twice as many
14.
legendary as I do epic as well. Like I fully hear you on that.
Oh, so you like it like won't drop the epic mats enough, huh?
Nope.
See how many I have here.
Yeah, I need to check mine as well.
Oh, you're right. I've got 3,700 versus 1,800. Yep, I've got way more legendary. That is funny. And the legendary takes less, so you just it's a double whammy. You burn through the epic on both sides super fast.
Yeah, you get left out with it.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
That probably needs to be adjusted at some point.
I don't think they will, though, from what I understood. But
They said
Hopefully.
you brought that up, and they said too bad. Deal with it.
I've been sent to farm stage 10 because that doesn't drop rares or legendary materials. And then I said, okay, let me give it a go just to see what he's taking the piss out of me. And I went there and 3 materials. I was like, okay, I'm out of here. And then the data mined, we got the data mined files from the drop rates for them. And we've seen that stage 13, it still doesn't drop rare or legendaries, but still they've sent me to stage 10, not 13. And I've seen the drop rates from 14 up to 21, 5% chance to get epic materials. That's just stupid. From stage 14, huh? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, and especially
Yeah, it's
especially given the fact that you like can't farm it, you can't like buy keys, you can't. So yeah, it's really a bottleneck if it's going to be that low. It's going to take you years to acquire the epic materials
For the legendaries that you have, yeah, for sure.
Yep, that's crazy. No, that's kind of all I wanted to touch on was get some initial reaction on the launch here. And did we mention how surprising it is that the game isn't crashing every 30 seconds? Did we mention that?
I'm still waiting. I figure it's bound to come, isn't it? Isn't that?
We can still mention it again, though.
Yeah,
they handle it good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
GG's to them.
Yeah, we gotta give we gotta give them credit. They
yeah.
finally kind of like launched something new. It was, I think the game was breaking a little bit. I saw Valkyrie had like 7 posts this morning about resetting the server, but I think it was only like 20 minutes or something, and they got it up and running all day.
Literally in the first 20 minutes, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hey. If we're gonna criticize them, we got to give them credit when they come through and
the Christmas decoration.
yeah,
Did you guys-
yeah, absolutely. They always hit a home run on the aesthetics, but yeah, that's super cool. I love
They used to have just one.
It's so
tree
much
now.
better than it was before. We have ice
They
cream
have
know,
one
huh?
tree in the middle.
See, now my only complaint is they don't like go flying around the forge. Like they don't like. I wish they would go like
To go around.
Yeah.
I have a complaint.
Right.
Scratch has another complaint.
They're missing my Elhain, bro.
Yeah.
The dragon.
No, I was just gonna say that. Yes.
Where is Elhain, bro? I know that the dragon.
Yeah, but
make her
they
come
said
back.
it's part of the story.
I know, but bring Arbiter to revive her. Put it in the story.
That would
Make stage 13 in the campaign, maybe.
yeah.
The revive
revive.
Elhain.
But see now I always want something there because it brings so much more life to the game to have like the
Oh yeah, it looks so cool actually.
yeah, like
Looks
now
really good.
now I want like every season to have something like with champions walking around and stuff or
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Halloween.
I want to see Arbiter in front of the Great Hall literally revive Elhain, have
Yeah.
her skate around, and then a dragon swoop in and eat her again. This is what I want to see. You know.
And I want to see Khaleesi on top of the tavern saying winter is coming.
all right, you know what's going downhill when the Game of Thrones references are coming out. Cool.
The Doom Tower is great, man. It's really a nice addition. I mean, you know, I'm sure we're all gonna be tired of it in about 3 weeks, but like it is a really good addition. They did a really good job of bringing it in. I really love the fact that it refreshes every month, so that these challenges become new again. I'm actually really curious to see too how much variation there is month to month. One of the things I'm a little reserved on is the fact that we have 4 bosses, which means that we're going to be going through those same mechanics again, and I'm interested to see if they plan on changing that up, if they're going to be bringing in anybody new, or if the waves themselves are going to change from month to month, and so that challenge becomes fresh.
Mhm.
And we're not just rehashing the same thing again. But what's great is they set themselves up to be able to do that, right? They can do the same Doom Tower for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months without changing a darn thing, and it's still going to be a good, strong challenge for everybody. It's still going to be something that we're going to get some enjoyment out of, and then they can switch it up later if they want to, kind of see how it goes. But they did a really good job with this, I'm pretty happy with it.
I do have one complaint that I kind of thought of, and that was like, I wish when they launched like stuff like this, they would give you like have a special day where you have more keys than normal. like to play longer, to dive into more stuff. Like when they launched Faction Wars, they should have had every faction be open. Like it's launch day. Like let everybody dive in and play instead of having 2 factions open on day 1. We were all like, you finish it in 5 minutes, and you're like, well, that was fun. And it's the same thing here. They should have given us like 50 keys, especially because this one starts in the middle of the month, so we're already behind. Like they should have given us like 50 keys on each and just let us go and like have fun on launch day. That would be like I can't give it a 10 out of 10. I'll give them like an 8.5 out of 10 for the Doom Tower launch. But I wish we would have had a little bit more opportunity to kind of dive into some stuff. But
yeah, it would have been nice for sure to get a few extra keys, even double amount, you know. So
compared to expectations, this has got to be like a 30 out of 10. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I agree with you. It'd been nice to be able to. It would have been really nice to be able to do normal and hard today.
Yeah,
you know, to see what both of those are, and try them both out. But yes, it was good. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I'm excited to I'm actually kind of excited about tomorrow. You know, I don't get that very often where I'm like, you know, I can't. Is a reset time yet? Can we get back? When's the next one coming?
Can't wait to see what's next. Right.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. Like that's, you know, how we should feel fairly often, and it's nice to actually have that feeling. Like, ooh, something else tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah, don't just have to do your dailies and log off. Cool. Yeah. No, it was. I won't keep you guys. I won't keep you guys too long, but it was fun to get a discussion. Thanks for joining me. Cold Brew, anything you want to say? Parting ways here?
No, guys, just keep watching our videos. Keep watching those ads, I guess. Keep an eye out for our content, guys, and we'll be going over the Doom Tower for sure, every one of us. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
All right, Scratch.
Glad to be here, brothers, rather than that. Appreciate you all, guys, and yeah, man, keep an eye on everything. We'll be diving, all of us, in the content, hard mode, normal mode, do our own challenges, fun stuff with suffering from stage 40 upwards. So probably by Friday you'll hear all of us crying here. But rather than that, yeah, just enjoy it. Same with us. GG's to Plarium for banging this down without any sort of issues, and hopefully they'll be keeping up the good work from here on, man.
Cool. And Deadwood?
Yes, the same. Thanks for having me. It's good to talk with you guys. You know, keep an eye out for our stuff. Come check us out. That's pretty much it. I don't know.
No, that's great. That's great. It's always fun to touch base. That's why we got to do this every 2 or 3 weeks or so. It's always a good time. So yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one. Appreciate you joining me.
Peace out.
Cheers, Matt. See ya.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for this one. Huge shout out to those guys. Always super fun to catch up with them. Scratch, Cold Brew, and Deadwood Jedi. I will link to their channels down below in a pinned comment, so it's nice and easy to find. You probably know these guys, but if you don't by now, definitely go check out their channel. They make really great content, and I think you'll enjoy it. So that'll be down there if you want to check those out. And that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.